both boxers their final instructions.
Okay, fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. We both know what I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Good match, this. Two guys who have prepared well for it, both brimming with confidence. And both feel they know each other well and well enough to defeat the other. Who's going to back up the talk? What would you say, Barry, the keys to victory are for both men tonight?
Well, again, I think again, because there's been such a heated sort of build-up, it's about who keeps their composure the best. I feel who keeps a lid on the emotions. Obviously now it's tentative, but in a minute it's going to catch fire. And you know, if you can keep your shape under pressure, or when you're in that real firefight, when the things are swinging wild, if you can keep your shape when the other guy's swinging like a lunatic because he really wants to hurt you, then there's a good chance you might come out on top.
Only a couple of fights between them in terms of experience, but it does feel like Sterling has just been in the slightly deeper waters, taking on the likes of Liam Conroy. He was in trouble early, wasn't he, against Conroy? You know what a puncher he is into the semi-finals of the Golden Contract, coming up in about 3 or so weeks' time. Look at the eyes of Sterling, wide in concentration.
Good jab there from Azeez. I was going to say Sterling's the one doing the feints, but I think a feint now for Azeez would work well because Sterling's really looking to let that left hand go. You can see he's almost really tense with it. So I think a little feint draws that lead, and then that right hand there as he threw will find a home.
Jab through the early part of his career has definitely been his punch, Azeez. Always worked everything off that lead left hand.
Good jab again there from Azeez.
And up and down, head then body. Head's just a little close there as they both launch their attacks at the same time.
Just neither one wanted to make a real mistake, is there? It's just a tend to see there from both.
Oh! Huge exchange there in centre ring. Little nod of approval from Azeez, who seemed to land a cleaner shot.
And again there, nice little short right hand from Azeez. Just Sterling there, just broke that back foot, you know, forward, squared himself up there.
Just sense through the first moments here that just a bit more composure in the work of Azeez. Sterling looks really keyed up and wired up for this. Big right hand again. There's another one from Azeez. I think he's just settled down behind his boxing, particularly that jab through this first round.
Swayed his way, but
just keep putting him straight.
Yeah, Sterling looks a little bit like he has a little less guile than Azeez, but I'm not quite sure. Just how he sets up makes maybe a little bit less tidier than Azeez, but can still be effective there. Sterling just needs to just find that distance with the jab.
Seconds out. Round two.
Into round two then. This one for the English light heavyweight title. Current possession of Dan Azeez in the maroon and white. And a positive start coming out at the beginning of this round from Sterling.
That's a left hook there from Sterling.
Well, we know how tough Sterling is, Barry. He's faced difficult moments in each of his last 3 encounters. Down against Conroy, midway through that one. Down against Richards as well, who also, like Conroy, fought for the British title. So did Ricky Summers, who had Sterling down early on in the second round of their 10-rounder last summer.
There's a good jab there from Sterling. Really pushed through the target with it.
Sterling knows about difficult moments, trying to get through with the left hand again. And he's trying to get on the front foot, trying to get off first with his shots through the first minute.
So tense, though, isn't he, Sterling?
Yeah, you can Barry without the crowd. You can hear his breathing through the first couple of rounds. That's what I said in the first. He seems really keyed up. He's so concentrated. And if this one is going to go some rounds, maybe that nervous tension will come into play. What he has done before, Sterling, is go 10 and indeed 12 rounds in good company.
Again, decent little jab there from Sterling. Azeez just waiting a little bit too long here. Good right hand though there from Dan Azeez.
Yeah, partially blocked that by Sterling. Maybe having a better round through the first couple of minutes.
Oh, good right hand though back there from Sterling. I don't think it carried much weight, but just did the head and found the home for it.
Yeah, and there was a little short right counter, not for the first time from Azeez. There it goes again. Always coming back with that counter, Azeez. Oh, no doubt Sterling's holding on.
Time out, over there. Cut the holding out. Okay? Box on.
Well, I think you could make out what we just pointed out. Good body shot that from Sterling. It's about the first time we've seen the jab of Azeez in this round. Again, Sterling just clenching those elbows to restrict Azeez up close.
Gotta be careful with that now, isn't he? So early to be warned. Good body shot from Azeez there. Lovely left hook.
Yeah, better round, and slightly busier round that from Sterling. Cut caused by.
And if you get to the side, chop to the body. Yeah. If you get to the side, slip and chop to the body. Yeah. Keep them straight. Right.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round 3.
Into round 3. It was a better round from Sterling. Was it enough to bring him level on the cards? We'll see.
Good short right hand there from Azeez. That was good from Azeez there, just tucked in nice and tight there. Sterling just brought a bit of steam a little bit, but nothing really landed, and then just chopped in a little short right hand.
Keeping shape well, Azeez, isn't he?
He is, but I still like to see him just start using that jab a little bit more, be a little bit more proactive with that left hand.
Well, he just runs the risk. He can be outworked. Well, there's that jab, though. It's so good for him. You'd like to see him get it off a bit more, try and take control with it.
I'd also like to see Sterling throw a double jab, because he steps behind it, so there's weight on it. But if he can push Azeez back, that's a bit better there, but a little bit more stamp on the front foot when he does it. Just to push Azeez back, put him on the back foot a little bit, and then throw that right hand over the top.
Right, sit back. Sit back straight away. Straight away. Hold on.
Swinging away to the body, Sterling.
But again, though, that good form there from Azeez, just naturally blocking the shot there, because he keeps those elbows tucked in nice and tight all the time.
He is breathing heavily. But that's Sterling.
Just his way, I guess, isn't it? He's still looking nice, as sharp as he could be. Little right hand there from Sterling. Not much weight behind it again, though, but still finding a home after that double jab.
A couple of body shots bordering on low, but he's throwing more, Sterling. I think it's fair to say, however you view those in terms of effective, tidy, or otherwise, he's letting it go. Oh, There's that jab, such a solid, accurate punch from Azeez.
But not used enough from him.
No, I
so far.
completely agree. As I said about a minute ago, I think it's the sort of punch you can control a fight with.
It's better from Azeez here, using the jab there and trying to push Sterling back. But it's been Sterling really forcing the pace, hasn't it, for the last couple of rounds.
And he's, oh, nice right hand there from Sterling too, up close. A different way of going about this from both those fighters, and he's just hustling, isn't he, last couple of rounds, Sterling. Hustling and bustling and working his way into the fight. 3 down we are.
Just keep sharp, keep picking it.
Time.
The attack. So I gave that round to Sterling.
Seconds
Thanks to
out.
Spencer for now. We'll check in again.
Round 4.
Sterling getting himself back into the fight as we head into the 4th. No doubt he was busier in that 3rd. The 2nd was oh so close. And the cut that he endured in that 2nd round, I don't think it looks the sort of cut that's going to be a problem to him. We'll see.
Left hook to the body there from Sterling.
And the worry for Azeez would be that he just allows himself to be outworked here, Barry. Whether he's banking on Sterling maybe running out of a little bit of puff, I don't know, but he might just have to busy himself.
Good right hand there though from Azeez here, just to dip a little bit lower, took the little step across. Just found a little different angle there for the shot.
And as, of course, in fights like this, it might be that some people view, you know, so less is more. Sort of accurate, sharp jabs and fewer punches of Azeez, or just the body of work and the busyness of Sterling. That seems to be the flavour of it so far through the first 3.5.
Getting a little bit too close there, Sterling. It was the right idea, sort of dipped inside and went to work on the body, but it was a little bit too close. That's a good right hand there from Azeez.
And again, you just have to be careful of this. That's the 2nd time he's had to be warned. Well, that's the 2nd warning. I think that's it. It's loud and clear for everyone, particularly Andre Sterling. Well, suddenly they are banging it out in the centre, as Dan Azeez was asking for in the head-to-head yesterday.
Oh, good right hand there from Azeez.
Yeah, it was a clash of right hands, wasn't it?
Took it well though, Sterling, because he fired back straight away.
Who's this firefight going to suit better?
Pull down, don't pull down.
An interesting tactic that from Azeez. As soon as he had the warning, Sterling, Azeez was right onto him. Well, he was trying to force him into a situation where he had to hold, or otherwise I don't know, or whether he just wanted to emphasise the point.
Nice shot right hand again there from Azeez. The left hook though from the body there from Sterling.
He's
warming up.
Giving it a lash, isn't he? It is warming up.
Sharp with the jab. I want to see sharper work.
10 seconds, corners.
He wants to break off the rest.
A little bit of everything there from Brian Lawrence. The motivation, how much do you want this? To be fair, if we've just watched what's unfolded through the last few rounds, I think you can sense how much this means to Andre Sterling, but he just wants to keep him up to his work, and just a gentle reminder about the holding in there too. What did you think, Barry? That fourth round, the cleaner work of Azeez?
Yeah, I think for me, my preference was Azeez there in that fourth round.
I must admit, the second, which I thought was close, I just gave to Sterling, but
Sure.
wouldn't disagree with Barry or Spencer. May have seen it differently. Either way, it's pretty tight as we move into the second half.
That was good. Just a second ago there from Azeez, from Sterling. Sorry, as he moved back there and Azeez went in for the attack, he just popped that left hand out, and Azeez walked right onto it.
Oh, nice right. And there's the left hook as well. Coming in, back comes Azeez, though.
Bit of work there from Sterling, wasn't it? I still think he's getting a little bit too close. He's got really long arms, and I think he's getting a little bit close and smothering some of his work. Good shot.
Oh, that is a fair play to Azeez. He took it well. That beckons in Sterling too.
Good body shot there from Azeez. A lovely left hook to the body. But the right hand there from Sterling was a beautiful shot.
And all the while you're watching this and wondering down the stretch, what's going to be the thing? What's going to be the tell? What is going to be, or what will be the significant factors? Another nice right hand getting through from Sterling.
See, Azeez looks to neater when they're working, but actually, I think the more effective shots so far in this round have been from Andre Sterling.
For the first time, Azeez on the front foot. There's no doubt they both want it. We knew that before. We've had it confirmed tonight.
Right hand there from
And now it's Azeez trying
Azeez.
to... Well, he says, let's bang it out at the start, didn't he? Now he's meeting far with far. This is an interesting change in the play towards the end of the fifth.
Got to keep those hands up coming forward, though, Dan Azeez.
And all the while he's beckoning him on, starting to talk to Sterling. A little bit of strength and motivation and power and will coming to bear now. There's a big effort. That's a huge final minute and a half there from Dan Azeez. That strong surge, and he really did.
Oh, it's a great little setup there, just almost like feinting that long left hook there, and then fighting through that right hand right through the guard from Sterling, but then he didn't really capitalise on it.
And did you sort of feel Barry was the same again? It was a round that Sterling was winning, and then suddenly
Yeah,
Azeez.
I think so for me.
Seconds out.
You can see the welt underneath it, underneath that cut. That's going to be the issue.
Yeah, still a little bit of blood dripping out of that as well. And suddenly it's just swollen up, isn't it? Is that going to affect the vision? Is it going to worsen and maybe affect the fight? Just a little statement, wasn't it? Second half of that fifth round from Azeez. There's knockdown. Wow, I thought he was just off balance. Sterling, another big moment. He kind of nods his head, whether that's disappointment or frustration at the call. We'll get a chance to see that in between rounds, perhaps. But that's a significant moment at a time when maybe the fight was just going the way of Azeez.
But it wasn't a shot where I don't think he was hurt. He got caught swinging. I didn't actually see him get caught, to be honest, but he was obviously, it was the back to us, but obviously he's swinging and just took a shot to hit him. Oh, good right hand there from Sterling.
But the big moments, Barry, the sort of cut in the second, worsening in the fifth, that flash knockdown in the sixth as well. The big moments have gone against Sterling. Big gulp of air there from Sterling. And I think significant change in the play. The fact that through that fifth round, second half of it, that Dan Azeez was on the front foot. He's trying to continue that now into this sixth.
But he's not getting totally outboxed or anything like that, so I don't think there's any real panic here for But Sterling, you know, I think he's lost the last few. That's a good right hand from him, but again, he's not being totally outboxed. He's just having a slight better of things at the minute. That's for me. Good bodywork there from Sterling, then just stood up, hands down, and had to take a right hand back.
Yeah, credit Sterling really firing back there with that right hand. Been asked some big questions now.
Good left hook there from Sterling, but a short right hand back from Azeez. That's the problem with having a low left hand. It gives you a nice smooth jab. A little defence.
Oh, a great response this from Sterling on the thick end of it in scoring terms through this round because of the knockdown.
Break, step back. Step back, straight away, lads. Come on, step back.
Some clubbing right hands, I think slightly behind the, or on the side of the head. Well, a significant round, certainly on the scorecard, you'd say, in favour of Dan Azeez. Landed before, he's entitled to count that.
He's the referee, he knows more than us, of course, but I think he didn't get caught after he was swinging, or as. I think he got caught, then he swung himself and threw himself over. But again, it's your perspective and angle where you see it from, it's how you react.
And impossible to say which was the more significant factor, the punch or his own body momentum taking him over. So that's debatable, but it's in the books now, and it certainly favours Dan Azeez in the closing stretch.
And he never complained about it either. That's always a telling factor at times.
What you feel is, after the fourth, fifth and that sixth round, that Sterling needs to find something. Not for the want of trying, to be fair.
But I think Azeez has kept the shape. And I think, you know, Sterling, forget about the height factor for these guys. The reach of Sterling, for me, looks like it far out reaches obviously the jab of Azeez. But Azeez has caught well with that, because it's hard to judge the distance there at times then. We have a guy with a longer reach.
Come on, don't hold. Come on,
he's kept his shape well, nice and well, kept those elbows tucked in nice and tight, and tried to block and throw when he can.
Got to be careful, he's been warned before. There's just another gentle warning, and you can't afford too many more of those, Sterling.
Good jab there from Azeez.
To be fair, I think that's good referee. I think how Foster would have... Oh, big right hand. He was entitled, I think, to dock a point there, but I think that was sensible refereeing, despite the previous sort of final warning.
You're ducking low. No back of the head.
Yeah.
Box on.
It's a funny one, that, because he's hitting the back of the head because Sterling's ducking low and turning.
Which is why I think the referee warned them both. Yeah, I think that's fair play.
Break, step back. Step back, come on, straight away.
Oh, big right hand. Again, he was sort of ducking away from it and could have caught him on the back in the end. It was sort of side of the face, swithing right hand that was from Azeez.
But he just dipped the legs as Azeez let the shot go over his head before he came back with his right hand. Struggling to see on the left eye, I think.
Yeah, and he did not see that right hand coming.
Good little jab and left hook there, though, from Sterling.
Yeah, there's another strong jab there from Azeez. And is it distance or willingness to throw it? Perhaps we've not seen as much of that telling punch from Azeez.
I think it's certainly the long reach of Sterling, and Sterling doesn't look the fastest of the fighters, but he always finds a home for that left hand. So I think his timing's good with that jab.
Bit of blood again from that left eye of Sterling. Both these guys, of course, from southeast London, same neck of the woods. I know some of the same people.
Again, just a little bit better work there from Sterling, isn't it? From Azeez, sorry.
Another hard round. Big effort from both guys.
because Sterling's overloading with his punches, and he should be a little bit more relaxed. But as he's starting to get relaxed now, Azeez is taking over because he's trying better fluidity of punches. And right now, I've got Azeez quite handily ahead.
Seconds out.
Thanks to Spencer. And that 10-8, a significant one, of course, stretching the lead perhaps to 3, maybe 4, as we head into the final 3 rounds. Well, you have to say, he's been competitive in every single round, and he's been busting a gut right from the start, Andre Sterling. And let's not forget, he's been 10 and indeed 12 rounds before. It's the 110 rounder in the bank last time up for Dan Azeez.
Yeah, but it's been a little change in pattern, I feel, that he was the one trying to push Azeez back early on in the fight, and I think it's sort of changed a little bit now. Azeez is starting to take the centre of the ring ever so slowly. He's not overexerting himself. He's still cautious and respectful, and has enough respect for what Sterling has to throw back.
Gum shield out momentarily.
I just feel that Sterling has been able to make Azeez work hard. To make that experience tell down the stretch, you've got to make the guy who hasn't done that distance as much as you, make him work hard in the early rounds for you to sort of really drag him into deep waters and later in the fight. I don't think it's been that way. And
he would be stretching it to say there's an air of invincibility coming into this one for Dan Azeez, but he was put through the grinder, the mincer, I think it's fair to say, emotionally through the spring. His mother, Kike, actually fell victim to COVID. She was in intensive care for 4 weeks, and I think he said he'll never face kind of pressure and strain that he was under during that period. He couldn't see his mother for many, many weeks. Thankfully, she's pulled through that, and I think the extra motivation is given seeing her recover, and also having her back in his life. Added motivation, I think, coming into this one.
Just needs to shift the feet, Azeez. When he had Sterling there with sort of his back to the rope and threw that right hand over the top, but Sterling just as a real nice thing, just tucks that shoulder into the left, with that chin into the left shoulder, and just turns his body a little bit. So just take a little step around the side and then throw that right hand.
Again, busy hands from Sterling.
What we haven't seen from Sterling for a while is that right hand. Needs to bring that uppercut through the middle there, Azeez.
Nice little left hand that from Azeez in close.
But Sterling's right over that front foot there. That's where that uppercut needs to come right through the middle. This with that double jab would work for Sterling there, just as he's had his hands low.
A little bit of head movement, upper body movement there, just sort of weaving inside the target, getting his shots off. That was clever from Azeez. Nice little cameo there towards the end of this round. A little bit of class creeping into his work late on. Vice.
Successful spinning pop shuffle. Down. On his toes, on his toes. Let me see you dancing.
10 seconds, corners. Seconds out. Round 9.
2 rounds to go into the 9th. Here we go. You sensing Sterling needs something big, Barry?
Yeah, for me, he's on the scorecards, he's a mile behind, I think.
And to be fair, well, to be honest, to be truthful, in the middle parts of the round when he landed a couple of those right hands, and that really sort of transformed the fight, didn't it? When Azeez ate those big shots, he seemed to take them pretty well. There's been no sense that the chin of Azeez is going to let him down so far.
No one's been seriously hurt, are they, at all, to be honest? But I think for Azeez now, I think if he jabs, feints, and then throws a 1-2, because of that low left hand of Sterling, Just a little disguise there to get that right hand over the top.
And we are 25 years on this week to Frank Bruno's big night when he finally lifted the world title, beat Oliver McCall, famous night at Wembley, and it is almost an homage to Bruno with those 70s, 80s style shorts. The Dan Azeez has been labelled the mini Frank, the little Bruno. He met Big Frank a couple of years ago, actually.
I don't know about Bruno, but sometimes I don't want people to get carried away, and like, I'm not calling him the haggler, but sometimes he jumps into the jab like Hagler used to with his southpaw right jab.
He's looked pretty composed throughout, Azeez. The jab is so good that sometimes you just want to see more of it as a fan or a neutral observer.
Shot.
I think has the towel come in? I think the towel's come in. It has, the towel's come in. And whether that was a sense of the eye, the way the fight was going, getting harder, you have to feel that it was the eye and maybe the sense of a lost cause. But Brian Lawrence has thrown. I wasn't sure if it kind of fallen in or was by accident, but the towel has come in, and this one comes to an end. And what a win that is for Dan Azeez.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because he's a mile behind, and I think Azeez was getting on top there. He was looking good and strong and pushing Sterling back, and maybe they thought that the tank would run empty there.
Yeah, you see it right hand side of your screen. That the towel sort of floated in behind Howard Foster, and there was almost a pause in proceedings, a slight puzzlement from all three. But actually, Sterling acknowledged it before anyone else did. And I think he feels fair enough. Let's get confirmation of it now.
The contest came to an end after 1 minute and 59 seconds of round number 9. Your referee stopped the contest, therefore your winner, and still the English light heavyweight champion from London, Super Dan Azeez!
Well, they know each other so well, and I suspect the whole King of Lewisham bragging rights in southeast London probably means very little now for Dan Azeez. What is important is